How's everybody doing? Yeah. Good. Coming out of that last talk, we got to get that energy riled up. That was fantastic. So I just want to first off start by saying thank you, Ajay, for putting this together, bringing us out. This is going to be a tremendous start. While it is in end of February, tremendous start to 2025 and accomplishing all you want to accomplish this year. I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about myself, and then we're gonna get into what this platform can do for you. Okay. So my name is Ari Owens. I started land investing in 2023. Some of you may have already talked to me, but when I started land investing, I was trying every different strategy out there, going state to state to state. Eventually, I kind of found my way. I actually implemented Land Insights, which went to sleep in my own business. And because of that, let's see if we can get this up here. You don't need that yet. Because of that, have been able to scale my team to 6 people. I mean, that's not a big company, but it feels massive, right? And that's what I want to offer you today is the opportunity to feel like you've made massive strides in your own business. So let's start here. You can think of me as the operations guy at Land Insights. And when it comes to Land Insights, I want to make sure you have a clear idea and a picture of what it is. So what is Land Insights? Land Insights is really the highest quality, best in class. Like there's no other platform like this. All-in-one solution to land investing. If you are a solo operator or running a team, like this is the opportunity to transform everything you've been working on in a matter of months, maybe even weeks. Okay, this is state-of-the-art technology infused with AI, built with countless hours of engineer work, as well as a lot of thought, a lot of consideration. It's built by some of the most successful land investors in the entire industry. So I mentioned that I'm the ops guy. So what I want to talk about is not necessarily operational focused. So why is an operations guy from Land Insights out here speaking at a sales event? So the main reason is because this is going to get you riled up to reach your goals. We want to focus on where you're at now and propel you forward. Are you a solo operator? Are you having a hard time at your 9 to 5 or making time with the kids or trying to get out of whatever rut you might be in or staying up late? This is going to transform your schedule. Are you running a full-blown team right now? This will help you streamline, delegate like you never could before, and it'll give you the power to scale like you never thought you could. Okay? Now, talking about, and I'm referencing my notes. I'm not as talented as Ajay here, but I'm gonna try my hardest to live up to the. Nobody is.
You rock, brother.
Thank you, brother. But talking about the platform here, I do want to touch on that point. Why is an ops guy talking at the sales event? And it's because sales pitches often lead you down a rabbit hole of seeing feature after feature just to get you a point where you finally realize you're actually in the middle of a sales pitch, right? And you have to pay for something. And I don't want you to leave feeling like I led you on today. So I'm going to lead just by giving you exactly what is required to get this platform. And I want you all to just scan this. Just scan this. Don't do anything there. Don't do anything else. Let's see if we can actually get it a little smaller so you can get the whole thing. Just scan that. That's a QR code for a quarterly subscription to Land Insights. The reason why I'm putting this up now is because I truly believe in a first mover's advantage. I learned this last year. You move fast, it pays dividends. And that reward just continues to grow larger and larger. It doesn't seem to be working. Maybe it needs to be bigger. If it's not working for you, we'll get it set. We'll get it handled. But this is my offer to you. For the first 5 people, for the first 5 people, there may be more here. I know there's a lot that aren't using Land Insights. I'm trying to lead here so you know exactly what is required to get Land Insights. But let me tell you the reason why. I want to give you more value than this platform. I think on its own, at value cost, right? seems to give. There's a lot that you can do here, but I want you to walk away feeling like you are prepared to tackle 2025. And that's going to start with two things. If you sign up for Land Insights today, if we can get this QR code working, we're going to give you 25,000 credits in our platform. We're going to talk about what that can get you. That's mainly used for skip tracing. And for a lot of you here, that could be really, really helpful. But you're also going to get something else, which I've never given to anybody before, which is an exclusive one-on-one call with yours truly, just to go through the operational aspects of your own business, streamline processes around delegation, creating SOPs together. We're going to go ahead and make sure that Land Insights is helping you streamline your business and scale, okay? Going from wherever you are now to wherever you want to be. And in order to do that, I really do need to showcase what this platform can do, right, in order for you to feel comfortable with that. So I want to leave that there. If you scan that or if it didn't work, we'll get it handled, we'll get it situated. But I really want you to know this is not the average sales pitch, because I'm not the sales guy. I'm not here to pitch why you need Land Insights. I'm here to prove why you need it. Okay? So let's look at the platform. This platform, I can't even tell you how many hours we've spent building this platform. Every single week we're putting out something new. If you're not spending time on market research, you're wasting thousands, potentially missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Knowing where you market and why is an extremely important aspect of this business. Land Insights is the fastest way to conduct your market research, shaving off dozens of hours. On average, it saves our users 8 hours per week, which is insane. And that's just in terms of market research. It allows you to see specific acreage ranges, heat map the entire United States or state by state, all the counties, all the zip codes in the county by different metrics that matter more to you and your team, right? Depending on your strategy, you might want to look at certain sized parcels. All of that at your fingertips. Actually, you can even hover over these different places and see those different metrics faster than you can blink. So this is the value, the power of getting data aggregated and parsed through by real land investors. We've built this to exclude anything that's off market. We've built it to exclude any duplicate properties out there, anything that would skew the data whatsoever. That's what we've built this platform on. And the crazy thing is, this in general has, I think across the board, has doubled ROAS. If you could double ROAS in a week just by choosing better markets, would you? I mean, that'll change the course of all the leads that you get and how you feel about those leads and the disposition of those leads.
Ari, what's ROAS stand for?
ROAS is return on ad spend. And that is so important in this business because you want to know what you're getting out of what you're putting in. And when you're able to leverage something, an unfair advantage like Land Insights, you're able to streamline so much of this business and focus on the phones. Focus on developing a sales acquisitions process that matters to your team and that can push you forward, right? Come to events like this. I hope none of you are stressing out about the deals you've got in the pipeline while you're here. But I'm telling you, with Land Insights, you're comfortable knowing there's more out there that's going to come into your pipeline soon. So let's talk about this. Not only is this so valuable for market research, but this is something that you can actually go and filter for, right? You can filter all of these data points in the U.S. looking for markets that hit your specific criteria. There's no other platform in the United States, in the world that does this, people. We're revolutionizing the way that you interact with land data. And the purpose is always to give you that unfair advantage that you can continue to play off of. Looking at market research is just one aspect of this platform. It is the crux, but to be honest, there's so much more that you can do with it. You can take those markets, you can look at them alone without all the noise, compare pricing information. We have over 40 different data points that you can leverage for your team to make decisions off of, feel comfortable with, price your data with, right? This is huge to understand, is a market homogeneous? Can I send out blind offers to this market? Do I have to go into neutral marketing? These data points help you do that. And being able to filter through the entire United States while you're doing that, or focus in, zoom in on one county, one market you've already been to, and vet it, and figure out how to look at it through a different lens is massive. Through our saved filters, I mean, this is something that you never have to come back to and start from scratch again. I feel like when I was in Redfin and I was in Zillow, I would just constantly be starting from scratch, having to get all these different calculations done, putting it in a spreadsheet, figuring out if I liked the county, if I didn't like the county. And then if I didn't, oh my gosh, I wasted 20, 30 minutes, and now I have to start over. With Land Insights, you can just save the filter. Save everything that you just did at the state level, at the county level, at the zip code level, and you just come back exactly where you put a pin in it. So it's absolutely remarkable. There's so much more to talk about here, and I'm excited to talk about it. I mentioned earlier that we had infused AI into our platform. So what happens logically after you've found a market, you know what you want to focus on, you know what you want to target, and you've got an idea of the prices? What's next? What do you do next?
Pull a list.
You pull a list. You pull your data. So Land Insights, actually, we came out with a data platform that is geared towards land investors. This is built by and for you. Well, it's built by us for you, but land investors through and through. So everything you see in here, all of the fields that you see in here are with your business in mind. Everything. There's so many different strategies you can use this platform for, but what we can do is streamline how quickly we choose a market, feel confident in that market, right? Understand that market, and then go pull the data. I mean, this can be a 15-minute process. This is something that used to take me hours to do. Market research alone, I spent more, I think this is a hilarious metric. I spent more time in Redfin doing market research for my business in 2024, early 2024, than I do in my entire land business today. Truly. Way more. I would stay up late thinking about it. Where do I go? Crossing counties off the list. Now I can come in here, choose that county in 5, 10 minutes, maybe a lot of the time less. I've gotten better at this, right? And then I can immediately say, I want to go pull data for that county. I want to get it ready for offers. Pricing my offers, sending neutral marketing. The power of having this at your fingertips and being able to delegate this out to someone else as well. I mean, you can think how much scale you can accomplish just by having an SOP in place that is rinse and repeat. And having an intuitive software in your business to get that done is a remarkable change in trying to use 12, 13, 14, 15 different softwares just to do all the things that Land Insights can do. So if we're looking at a county, let's look at Chatham County, North Carolina really quick. One of my first double closes did in this county. Let's just look at an acreage range, 20 to, let's say, 45 acres. We can come in here, and we have perfected, in my opinion, we still have so much that we're adding, but still so much perfection in how easy it is to come in here, choose a data set, avoid anything that you really want to avoid in terms of ownership. We can exclude certain ownership types. We can exclude keywords, whether it's you finding the United States of America in your data set, or going around and excluding a public library or an educational facility, a federal, a state-owned piece of property, any of that, we can exclude it on the front end, so you're not paying for that data. One of the best things ever that we just added just a couple weeks ago is vacant AI, right? Vacant land searching by 2 metrics, county data and our building layer. The speed at which you can immediately find all the vacant parcels using this one filter is incredible. Now, it's not loading, but I'm going to blame that on the Wi-Fi. The speed at which you can do this is probably faster than you could have ever pulled from DataTree in any scenario. If you're manually unselecting these properties, right? There's no world where you can recreate this experience. And you'll notice, look at this data set. We have some landlocked properties in here. Who loves landlocked properties? Who targets them? Blake, you target them?
I'll buy them.
I'll buy them. Hey, if the price is right? So we have actually infused the platform with AI, and we've battle tested this AI. We have used machine learning with dozens of thousands of individual parcels, and we have manually gone through them, doing these testings and teaching the AI to avoid landlocked properties, to avoid wetlands, flood zone, And just last night, we released road frontage, okay? This is absolutely and completely free in the platform. No additional cost. We just removed that entire cost last night. So if you've ever thought, if you're a Land Insights user right now and you ever thought, maybe I should scrub a little bit, it's 2 cents, it's 1 cent. I don't want to do it. Now, we've eliminated that objection altogether. We just want you to win. And as a testament to that, let me go ahead and plug in some of these filters. We'll pull some data today. As a testament to that, on top of our road frontage scrub, which, by the way, state of the art, we perfected this thing so well. Our competitors use hiking trails, bike trails, so much other random stuff as road frontage, and we have made sure none of that will ever come up. Actually, you can configure this to your own strategy. So if you don't want to target anything on a highway, which I don't know if anyone's gotten a lead on a highway before, not always the easiest. Not always the easiest. And what does the seller want? At least $1 million. So if you want to avoid that, it's so easy to just configure that and scrub by your own strategy. This customization is just not out there. As a testament to wanting to see you succeed, we also just lowered skip tracing costs. I'm pretty sure this is the most competitive rate on the entire market. I mean, I don't know, especially for one-off skips or single skips or any data set you want, skip tracing at either 2 cents for our standard skip tracing or 4, this right here is what will allow you to scale. Can anyone guess what hit rate our premium is at or higher? 97. Any other guesses? 92. Oh, come on, don't you believe in us? 95% or higher every time. If less, maybe reach out to me, and I'll shoot you some credits in good faith. But that kind of volume can only be the volume that you're thinking, the volume that Ajay does and Ben does, right? Can only be achieved if you have the right tools in place. So that's why I'm showing you Land Insights today, because it is remarkably fast to be able to come in here, scrub for really anything that you want. And it doesn't stop here. All right. No matter how large this data set ends up being, let's say 150. Let's take this bad boy to 1,000. This is a big data set. If I scrub this, it's going to immediately start exporting that data. And it's going to generate a scrub job for you with all of those things we just talked about scrubbed out. It's going to allow you to download all the data, sure, but it'll also just let you download the data like that, take it to your CRM. You can import it to your CRM. We have a parcel link that will streamline how quickly your acquisitions team can open up that parcel in your CRM, be linked right back to the property card in the platform, and easily start doing due diligence or even comping. And so we'll talk about this right now, but the data platform keeps on giving, and we want it to. Every single time you get a lead, we want you to be able to come in here and use this in place of some of these other tools that force you to continue going in other directions, have to log in. Maybe it bogs down your acquisitions team. Maybe they can't get a comp or they can't understand if there's access while they're on the phone with the seller. This value of having the ability to get that data immediately and even give a rough estimate of what you can pay looking at MLS comps on the map. Let's go ahead and do this really quick. Let's look at MLS comps and show you what this looks like. To be able to see pending for sale and sold properties while you're talking to a seller immediately without having to go to Redfin, look it up, go and try and find where it is, right? And you can do this in the acreage size that you want immediately. This is going to transform the conversations that your acquisitions teams have. So the best thing you can do is build a streamlined business where the same thing's happening over and over and over again, and you're improving your process consistently. Land Insights is not a tool. I truly believe it's the tool belt, right? And it holds all those different tools within it. And we only continue to improve this platform. So I really want to showcase how customized you can make your data set. This is not supposed to be a race to the bottom. We don't want people to ever feel as though we're all doing the same business here. Why don't we ever feel like we should have a scarcity mindset? Look at all of our competition. This is probably, this is an intimate event. There are larger events out there. Why don't we feel like we have a real blocker to success? And that's because we know it's not true. And with a platform like Land Insights, you're able to shadow that doubt in a matter of seconds because you have this unfair advantage over everyone else out there who's doing the same old strategy every single time. Being able to come in here, see your data set, and actually create a specific job. Let me see if I can get this to create here. It might not give me some love just because the Wi-Fi is a little iffy for me today, but I'm going to show you. You can actually go into each one of your data sets in a matter of seconds. Start skipping through the data faster than you could ever do on any platform. If you've used DataTree, if you've used LandVision, this is going to be like 10x that experience to be able to plug in and find out where the highest value properties are, give customized offers, and tag these properties so that when you export the data, you're able to see exactly the properties that you want to give a unique offer to. Okay? Now, it'll show you how much you save. It'll show you the exact property. I'm just using my arrow keys right now. I'm not even looking. I'm not clicking. The efficiency that this platform gives you and the unique strategies that you can utilize because of it and the unique sounds that you'll hear. Right, Ajay? Yeah. Usually jumping for joy is what will happen after you start to realize you're able to find subdivide deals and offer what nobody else is offering these people, get them on the phone, hit them from every angle easily, and tag these things. Does this look like a subdivide opportunity? Can I subdivide it? Boom, it's tagged as such. When I export it, it'll be there. That's going to change the game, change the way you run your business. Now, one of the other things I talked about was skip tracing. So I just exported that data. When I export that data, it's automatically skip tracing. I don't know if I actually selected skip tracing this morning, but it's automatically skip tracing anything that was successfully scrubbed. So if you use launch control, smarter contact, if you're sending out SMS, this process takes 10 to 15 minutes once you understand it, right? This would allow you to send 10x what you can send now. So I just want to circle back. If you want to hit your goals in 2025 and beyond, you need to have the right tools in your business. And having the right tools in your business is always going to revolve around efficiency, right? Volume. These are the things that you really want to focus on. So I'm going to bring it back. Now, I'm going to test this because apparently it's not working. Actually, my phone's over there. I'm going to have Pete test.
I guess I need to upgrade.
But it's supposed to bring you to a strike page, right?
Yeah. So, again, I just want to reiterate. I want to talk about questions. I want to talk about everything that you want to ask. I just want to remind you, the first 5 people who signed up with us today, we're giving Ajay's event like the exclusivity of strategist calls, trying to help you build and streamline your business, giving you this ability to create SOPs around your business. We want you to win. We want you to focus on the acquisition side, and this will streamline almost every other aspect of pulling data, doing market research, doing due diligence, and soon, at the end of March, also comping. All right? And this is the perfect blend of AI and personalization so that you always feel like you aren't just a commodity in the land business. All right, thank you guys.
So, I was so excited when Ari and his team and Rylan reached out to me and asked, hey, dude, can we talk about Land Insights at this event? And I was like, dude, will you please talk about Land Insights at this event? Because anybody that knows me knows I am not a big guy. Respectfully. So many people, because I talk acquisitions, reach out and they're like, hey, dude, you talk market selection, data scrubbing. I'm like, I would rather
I'm going to keep this PC. Do some things that you shouldn't do. I would rather not, is what I'll say. And Land Insights in this team, Ari, Pete, I know Sumner, Ryland, and Kyle, the founders of the company. Like, they're all just high integrity, solid dudes that are running an amazing company. And I think what's really cool, and man, I would tell you to your face if I heard otherwise, what's really cool about Land Insights is, guys, I probably talk to more land investors than all of you combined on a regular cadence. Like, I talk to a lot of people. I've never heard anybody poo-poo the platform before. And I cannot say that about any other marketing vendor, any other technology out there, like anything.
Appreciate
so if that's
that.
not a testament to the quality and the support of this product, man, I don't know what is. So I just want you guys to know it's got the Ajay stamp of approval. I know the owners, these guys are solid. And I'm a big believer in what y'all are doing. So thanks for being here, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here to answer questions. So,
For sure.
I mean, if anybody does have questions.
About Land Insights, current users, potential users, what you guys got?
All right. So if I was a person just joining Land Insights for the first time, I wanted to poll a market, poll a list. I know you're a beast at this now.
Yeah.
Ajay and I have spent countless hours, like you said,
Yeah.
going over market selection. But if I was just starting for the first time and I had to figure out some county in the U.S. to pick and to pull a list from somewhere, I don't even know where to get started.
Yeah.
What would be your recommendation?
Yeah, appreciate the question. Yeah, so I've actually built out a Land Insights course for all users. This course is honestly what I would recommend you to, but I want to make some very specific distinctions. In that course, we talk about different strategies to find different types of markets for different purposes, right? Everybody has a different strategy, and you can accomplish a lot of that. Pretty much all of that and more, and things you just never thought of with the creativity of just having data at your fingertips. The issue is you can start to get lost really fast. You can start to go aimlessly through the United States, not sure where to go. That's why it's very important to know, what do you want to accomplish in land? What is your strategy? What are you focusing on? What type of land? Where are you trying to get that land? In metros, info lots? Are you trying to sell to builders? There are a lot of strategies, but understanding that first and foremost is going to impact how you use the platform. And I think truly, if there is any ambiguity in any user ever knowing what to do, this is not just a platform. I'm sorry, but when you become a user, you kind of become a part of the group. We add you to our personal community. We give you an onboarding. We make sure we check up on you. We don't want you to ever feel like you just have another software. That's not the point of Land Insights. So this is absolutely a hub to grow together. Keep getting, I think probably like 85% of this platform has come from feedback from our own users. So yeah, this is a great platform to use for that purpose. Yeah. You want to give this to?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Touch on STR and
Did you just?
like just building off what you were saying.
Yeah.
Touch on STR and kind of the Genie.
Yeah.
How you would actually select the market.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the best things you can do when selecting a market is understanding each individual state is a separate market, right? You can't start by looking at the entire United States and expecting to see sell-through rate in one state as compared to in another state, and it mean the same thing. 50% in Washington does not mean 50% in Texas. And you'll see that. You go to Texas and you put that filter on, you'll get maybe 50% in 6 months, maybe 2 counties. It's wild. There's hundreds of counties in Texas, right? You should see a lot more. But it's because every state has a different standard of good and what good looks like in each state. And so by filtering down to the state level and starting to look and filter through that data, right, those filters that we were just looking at, being able to, let me see if I can show you here, go and actually see the county market data down here and say, well, let me go sort by what's happening in this state and see what is a decent sell-through rate at 6 months. Where are things actually trailing off, right? Where do I see things drop off? Sometimes it's not that straightforward. You can add a ton of different filters to understand what a good county looks like. But at the end of the day, it's the perspective at which you look at those counties. Because if you start adding 10 different filters, you might end up with 4. So sell-through rate is a depiction of what's going to happen in the future, depending on what's happened in the past. It is not, people don't like to say this, but it's not an absolute. So even if you go find a county with great sell-through rate, that doesn't mean you're going to win. But it definitely increases your chances, and understanding what sell-through rate can do for you is always going to put you in a better spot. And so being able to compare across the board rather than looking at one county at a time and trying to vet it against some standard. Oh, I like 50% in 6 months. I like 100% in 12 months. Instead of doing that, let's look at what's happening in all of South Carolina and say, what is good sell-through rate in South Carolina, and be able to compare against that. Does that kind of help you understand?
Yeah, I just think that's one of the coolest things you can do is look at a state.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the heat map for where things moving quickly, because velocity of money is what is
Yeah.
key. And so you want to be able to see where are deals.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then show them the heat map. Like
Yeah, I love it, Blake. Yeah, so the heat map is absolutely a crazy tool because, right now it defaults to looking at active, but seldom is it the case that you're trying to look at where your competition is. Maybe you want to look at how quickly things are moving through the market. You can see which markets are moving the fastest. Actually, funny enough, a lot of people will use this and they'll say, well, I want to see where moving the fastest in a certain time frame, and I want to just target the hottest markets. I'm telling you right now, having this data at your fingertips is going to change the game in 2025. You don't want to just be in the hottest markets. Hottest market doesn't translate to you getting deals. Not necessarily, right? They'll dispo a lot faster, but does it mean you'll get a lead? Potentially. Will that lead have a lot more offers on the table? More likely, yeah. So being able to go to places that still look good, that are not considered the hottest market out there, is going to be the name of the game in 2025 when you can start finding areas that other investors have been passing up. So I really recommend using the heat map for this purpose, but I also recommend not giving yourself any hard fine lines in the sand to say, I don't like 50% or less, or 49% or less in this case, right, for 6 months. Be okay with ambiguity. Sell-through rate's ambiguous. So I hope that answers your question. Did you have another question back there?
Yeah, I think my question is around kind of data management and flowing that into the sell cycle. So for example, let's say we're going to do 80,000 mailers, and we're going to cycle through them in 1 year. Does this software have some sort of system to be able to track, so you're not sending, let's say you did a blind offer and then you're going to rotate and do a postcard and then you're going to do something else.
Yeah, it's a great question.
So you're not doing it double, and then vice versa, is there some sort of a unique reference number that this is given out, or is that simply going to come through the mailing?
So the best way that I would recommend interacting with the data on a one-by-one, like literally data point by data point, is going to be through our parcel links. That is all. When you export data, every single property has its own unique URL. That is something you can attach to anything in your CRM, so you'll always know when it comes in exactly where, what property it is. But will it tell you where, where in the year you marketed to it? Not quite just yet, right? This isn't meant to replace your CRM. It's meant to really compound your CRM. And if I could give a recommendation, I could talk about Pebble all day and how it's land focused and how it's really going to be an efficient partner in putting data into a very organized format for you to scale like that. And there are areas of our platform that are really great for organization. We have 2 places in general, My Markets and then Campaigns. And in Campaigns, you can kind of view the data in a new perspective rather than seeing it on a heat map. But you can also track where you've been, what's in progress, what you're currently prepped to send out, and where you've sent it out. You can include detailed notes about everything you just mentioned. And I tend to do that on the county level, right? But you can get down to the zip codes and do the same thing, and you can build this out so that you're very organized. I have my VA go and take from my backlog, put it in progress. Once it's ready, priced, and I feel like it's ready to go to Rocket Print Mail, put it here and prepared. And once when I get those notifications, I don't know if anyone else does, your mail's hidden mailboxes, I move it over to send. And that's how we track where we've been. So, yeah, you got a question. Okay, I think this might be the last question. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I was hoping Ajay would come and live in the mic. Sorry, man. So I've been on Land Insights since last year, and really impressed. And I love the new features. I'm not a plug guy, just FYI. But the only thing, so something new was introduced a little while ago, which I just can't really get my mind around. There's so much data that it's almost like overwhelming sometimes, like you were saying. How do you manage this kind of stuff? So what I did to do, what I did was just kind of set, 3 or 4 filters that can just, kind of make sense of, that I truly understand. And now then the Gini index got introduced. And maybe I didn't put enough time to try and understand, but I don't get it, What are the factors that make it go into those?
Yeah. Well, I think we can all agree targeting certain markets where pricing makes no sense is very difficult when you're trying to give someone an offer, whether it's blind offer or whether it's comping that property, right? So the Gini, what it's supposed to correct for is homogeneity. It's built off of standard deviation for price per acre. So the more properties there are, the larger the number will inevitably become, right? It's becoming there's more deviation between price per acre for each property. But ideally, you're using this on an acre by acre range. So 5 to 10 acres, let's say. You're looking at the Gini, and the Gini is going to tell you, in that range of data, how homogeneous is it? Is the deviation of price per acre pretty low for 5 to 10 acres? Is everything pretty much going for the same rate? Or is it pretty high, where we're not really able to understand what's driving the difference in price? And so when you're using Gini over a course of a time frame, the best case scenario is a long time frame with a really low score, right? Not looking at 5 to 100 acres, looking at like 5 to 10 acres. Looking at a small data set where you're hyper-focused and fixated on what you're looking at and being able to tell, I can price this in 10 minutes, 15 minutes alone. If you can't, right? And so it's a score 0 to 100. If you can't, it's going to be a lot harder to market blind offers. You might want to change to neutrals, right? And it's a completely different strategy. The Gini is going to help you make those decisions extremely fast on the front end and understand whether it's worth it to prioritize that now or deprioritize that for later. And that is the main focus of why you would use that Gini score.
And if it's under about 40, that's where it
it's a scale of 0 to 100. So you can imagine perfect imperfection would be 100, right? Perfection, which means there's no deviation. Maybe there's just one property listed, right?
For 110, if everybody here is giving it 110% though.
Yeah, so ideally you're looking for a deviation that's less than 50. In most cases, the lower you get, the better.
Got it, okay.
Yeah.
So it's taking that county, looking at the zip codes in that county.
So it's looking at whatever data set you're looking at. So be careful because you don't want to look at 5 to 10 over the entire United States. You want to look at one county, sure. You could even go down to the zip code if there's enough data, if there's enough activity in there. And it's looking at that county plus the zip code, plus the acreage range that you chose.
Got it.
And it's filtering for any data, any properties within the filters that you've set as well. This is why if you want to schedule a call with me, I'm more than happy for any Land Insights user here to extend that offer and make sure you're taken care of.
That's awesome. Ari, thank you so
Yeah,
much for the time, bro.
absolutely.
I appreciate the presentation. This was great. Everyone give a round of applause.